I guess it's another like I said, Amos has promises. Amos has promises. Here to give you guys a review of basically of Berserk. Basically the Berserk basically manga, and I have to say there's a lot of discussion I definitely want to talk about basically Berserk. Basically in a way I have seen it basically in basically for a really long time, and I have to say I'm in love with the story. I really do definitely do love where the story is actually definitely is gonna go, and we're just see that the main male protagonist, I would say, Guts, based as a character, that he really is a guy that you don't want to double cross, you don't want to come too close to him, and you don't want to touch the man. And he seems like he's the kind of guy who doesn't like to be touched. It's kind of like a dog, like a dog doesn't want to be petted or anything like that. A dog doesn't want to be touched or stuff like that. It's just a person that it really basically it doesn't really basically in a manner. Now the creator of the manga, the creator of the manga, which I definitely do know, he probably passed away. I don't know when. I think it was like a few years ago, maybe more. I don't know. Uh, Kaido Toro Mira Kaido Toro, or maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong. I do pronounce. I'm very very sorry. This is sponsored by. Uh, actually this is from Dark Horse. From Dark Horse, I figured this would be a shonen. I think it is shonen. I think it is, but I'm not too familiar with Dark Horse. That's what it says right here. It says on the manga. That's what it says right here. It's from Dark Horse, right around here. If you know what I mean. If you guys can see that, that's basically what it says. I'm assuming this is Shonen Jump. This is probably what I'm assuming is because I don't understand how come it does not have a Shonen tag really much on there, or maybe this is probably a misreprint, uh, a misprint, or maybe that it really actually is. I really don't know. So I really don't know really much about it. So I'm assuming this probably basically in the Shonen magazine and stuff like that. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not really 100% sure if Berserk is basically still ongoing, or basically that it basically really actually is, or basically that it really is not. I'm not really actually so sure, because, or maybe the Berserk manga probably ended because the creator probably passed away, or maybe somebody's probably doing monthly chapters based on the manga. I don't know, so I really definitely don't know. So I would like for somebody to person to really basically to tell me that basically in the comments down below. So what is Berserk is basically all about? So Berserk is basically all about, like I said before, it's all about, he is called the Black Swordsman, or I will say AKA as Guts, as basically as a character. As I said before, Guts is basically is the kind of character, for one, seems like he's the kind of guy who doesn't give a shit. He doesn't seem like he's the kind of guy who really doesn't really actually at all. And when you come basically in this way, he just basically is just that kind of guy he really actually is. He just really just really definitely doesn't. He has his own different morals, and he has his own different beliefs, and basically what he definitely believes, and that's just basically what it is. Number two, Guts don't like to be touched. He doesn't like to be touched by anybody by no means. It's kind of like saying, like, it's kind of like, as I said before at the beginning of the video, that he is basically kind of like subjugated basically as a dog. It means that he doesn't, when a dog doesn't like to be petted, a dog doesn't like to be petted. You know, if they don't like to be petted, they don't like to be petted, because then they'll probably get kind of feisty, and they kind of get aggressive. They'll probably get kind of mean, because that's just basically really based the person that's the basically the type of animal, or the type of person that they really actually are. Now, to be honest with you, which I think is number three, in my opinion, in ways that I want to say this also too. I think Guts is probably this basically the kind of person has probably has been through a lot of hell basically in his life, which I definitely do think that he really actually is. I think the man has PTSD, which I definitely think that he is. Number four, I really am very kind of curious basically about this, because I really don't know really much about the lore of based on Berserk. but he was basically given a brand, basically like a tattoo or basically like a mark or something like that. You probably would definitely say is based on his neck right here. And he says something about I see he said something about that there's 500 people that has this brand or basically have this mark that they definitely have. And I'm kind of curious about what does this mark really actually definitely mean. So I'm wondering that I definitely think it's probably is basically is a curse. That's basically is a curse that basically that you're being haunted by demons like every single day, and when you dream, and basically when you dream, the demons just kind of pop out really out of nowhere. Number five is basically this is a very great example, basically the way Guts really actually is. When he gets too close to somebody or anybody, basically in particular, basically in a way, demons deaf to become very infested to basically how should I say this? Very infested towards him. I think that in other words that what it means to me is that when I see that when I definitely see that he doesn't want to get too attracted to anybody that's those are around him, or basically, or I would say, AKA, basically get himself so attached. I do apologize, that's my phone. He doesn't want to basically get too attached to somebody that he really does not want to, because that's just the kind of typical, basically, kind of person that he really actually is. If he does get too very attached to somebody, then that person would probably would basically end up dying, and then that would be particularly basically his fault in the matter. But as I said before, the curse, the mark, or the tattoo, or whatever that you really want to say, is basically that he has been scarred for life and stuff like that. There's no reason why that he was basically was given the curse or basically was given a brand or basically or something like that. It's kind of like basically saying like basically saying like basically like the farmers basically really actually definitely do. They mark their animals because they really have to do that because that's what they have to ultimately they have to do to basically to market them to basically to go off to factories so they can basically just like I'm not gonna go in it in that kind of territory if you know what I mean, but that's just how that's just how the thing what they definitely do, basically in a way, basically in a way. Now, far as I definitely do know, I definitely do think that the mark definitely just means a God hand. I don't know what God hand really actually means. I don't know if this basically means that he's basically been chosen from God, or maybe that he really actually was, or maybe that he really wasn't, or maybe that we really definitely don't know that he if he was basically was chosen, or basically that he really was or was not. I don't know. That's something I would like to know later on, basically in the future, basically in Berserk. Basically in Berserk. I have to say, overall, basically in the manga, I have to say the manga is definitely very, very good. But there's one other particular person I really definitely think that is kind of a little bit of annoying, but it seems that this person seems like it's very kind of cute, and the person's basically little, I would say, a fairy or an elf, basically, whatever you personally basically want to say. Name is Pluck, which I don't know. Pluck is probably a guy or probably a female. I don't know. It looks kind of cute. Pluck is basically kind of character is basically just a tiny little elf that just basically just hangs around, likes to be around, guts basically likes to be around him and stuff like that. And I don't know if particular in any other way if Pluck is definitely going to die, or he's definitely going to, or basically she is. I don't know. I have no idea. So I can't really personally definitely say if Pluck is a guy or a girl. I don't know. I have no idea and stuff like that. And I definitely do think blood does plays a major role basically in this manga. But I have a very good feeling there's maybe a possibility, a very strong, very good possibility that Pluck may end up die. Probably will die, which I definitely think. Now, Plug basically as a character, I think that Pluck is not really much of a fighter, really much of it in a way. I think Pluck is basically as much as basically as a healer because basically that's what Pluck really actually is. Because if that space is being said that Pluck is just basically a healer, that means Pluck doesn't really have really any physical damage that she or he that really don't really have that really basically does or anything like that or anything like that. And one thing I'm also kind of curious about, so basically about is basically the armor that he got also as well too, because I have heard rumors that when he goes berserk, when he goes like very extremely berserk, he has his dark armor or something like that. It's something gives him the moral power that he was basically that he was given or basically that he really actually is that basically that he has. Now, I want to say this also well too. I don't want people to basically criticize me based for me basically to say my opinion based on this, but this is just my opinion because I don't think this is not one of his strong suits. Maybe I'm just being misinformed based on what his strong suits. Basically his cross arrows was his bow and arrows, or I would say cross arrows. I definitely will say that it seems to me those are seems to me they're very kind of handy that he really definitely does has. He also can transform his hand like some kind of cannon that he definitely can. And he seems like he's a very kind of a character that I guess you probably say like either he lives or basically he dies. It doesn't matter to him, but the man will still go by beyond the odds. Either he faces Godzilla or King Kong, it doesn't matter to him. He still will. That's what he definitely does. Is he a mercenary? That's kind of hard to say if he really actually is a mercenary. If he's really actually a mercenary, then he's just basically just doing for the love of the sport of blood sport. Means that he just wants to kill. That's all he really basically wants to. But as I said before, Guts is basically the kind of character that he doesn't like be annoyed or anything like that. He doesn't like anyone basically touching him because if somebody basically touch him or something like that, yeah, then you're probably gonna get killed. But I definitely would definitely say that Guts is basically kind of a character that he really doesn't show really any emotions towards anyone or but only by himself that he really definitely does. Maybe I'm not really seeing the character basically what it Guts really actually is, but I would definitely say that I'm not the biggest fan basically of the bow and arrows or something like that. I'm not really custom basically of a fan really much of basically about it because I think more of his strong suit is the black sword because he's basically called the black swordsman. That's basically what he basically actually is. Or basically I probably would definitely say he's probably kind of like saying like AKA basically kind of like the Dragon Slayer. And basically it says right here in the manga where in the back it says Berserk the Flame Dragon Knight, or that's basically what he really actually is. Basically he's the the uh, the the Flame Dragon Knight. That's just basically what he really actually is. Now, I'm also kind of curious about where he got the sword also from. I'm wondering if he forced them. I wonder if he forced them basically himself. And I'm also kind of curious about the lore of basically Berserk. Who was his family? Who was his mom? Who was his dad? That's something I definitely want to know. And I definitely know there's one particular person named Casca, which I definitely think he is definitely going to become very relevant basically into the story. And I have a feeling that he's more like going to be a rival to basically the Guts. That's what I definitely think. I probably got spoiled basically a little bit, but that's just basically what I definitely think. But I've heard rumors that people were definitely telling me like, yeah, you could watch the 1997 version based off the anime if you could definitely watch it. I definitely could watch it, but I'm not really actually so sure if I really definitely do, if I really definitely do want to watch it, really or not, because they said, because that majority, most people say the 1997 version of the anime is more of the route of the true aspects of basic of the manga of basic of Berserk. I don't know if that's really true or really or not, but I have to really see it for myself because I really do not want to go into the anime really just right now. I don't want to go into it right just yet, but I really want to basically read the manga because that's something I really definitely want to do. And that's something that's what I want to be heavily investigated. And I definitely agree with Fernando what basically what he says. If you guys don't know who Fernando really actually is, you probably know who I'm talking about. Or I say AKA as Tim, basically AKA as Tim. He does manga reviews. He talks about anime. He talks about manga. He does anything basically in the shonen jump era. Basically of that. That's something that he definitely does like. He doesn't really talk about that much basically like kind of like lolicon basic kind of nature because he doesn't support that kind of fandom really a lot, and I definitely do agree with him because that is something that I don't want to be a part of, and I can understand that he does not want to be part of that, and I definitely really actually is, and I would like to see some more YouTubers that really talks about shonen. Basically, more of shonen, maybe more in base of shonen, base of that, and that's something I really would like to see. And I have been think about making a second YouTube channel, basically do like manga reviews. That is something I've been thinking about maybe doing basically in the future. I'm not so sure if I really want to or not. I still have not made my mind up what kind of second YouTube channel if I really want to or really I'm not, or if I have enough energy or the emotions to really to push much efforts basically into. If you guys have seen my live stream, I kind of struggle basically with my emotions and basically some other different things. If I really want to focus basically on just manga content, basically for a second YouTube channel, then I would probably would definitely be more heavily invested into that. And I want to basically focus in to basically also in basic of shonen basic of in that way of nature, but I don't want it to basically to be related of the some of the stuff I want to be mixed in basically with of shonen basic of an era. I definitely do want to get into Tokyo Ghoul. That is one thing I definitely really want to get into because I've heard a lot of people say Tokyo Ghoul is definitely is the way to go. It really actually is. I'm really looking forward to basically getting that also as well too because I don't think Tokyo Ghoul is not really considered as shonen. Really, actually is. Some people might think it really actually is, but I don't think it really is not. It really is not. If I ever get a rating for this manga Berserk, I have to get it a 10 out of 10. I have to say, I have to say a 1,000 out of 10. No, how about a 10,000 out of 10? No, how about a 100 million out of 10? That's just my opinion. That's what I definitely think. It's a very great manga. It's definitely very good to read. I definitely do agree with most people say, and for never will just give him a shout out also as well too. He is correct. Stick with the manga source because it really matters the most. And I definitely am gonna buy volume number 2. I don't know if I'm gonna buy volume number 3. I really want to take my time. I don't want to really want to rush too much basic into the manga because if I rush too much basic into the manga, then I may not be able to really more majorly basically understand. But I definitely want to go more into a route of the era of Shonen Jump. That's something I really definitely want to, but that's something I definitely do, and I really want to basically do that. But I don't want to exhaust myself like I gotta review every single chapter like here and there, there and there. But I definitely am thinking about making a second YouTube channel, basically just talk about shonen content, like shonen anime and also shonen manga. That's something I definitely been thinking about basically doing because I'm pretty very good about talking about anime and manga, and that's something I definitely overall basically been thinking. But as I said for this review, I have to say I love this. It was definitely enjoyable. 100 million out of 10. To me, definitely very, very good. I would highly suggest for anyone to basically buy this. Now, before when you go buy this, if you're under the age of the below of age of 18 or under the age of 18, I don't think they cannot let you buy this because it's heavy sources and it's heavy material. It really actually is, and you have to have the permission from your parents to really to buy this. And then probably the parents was like, hey, what is all this like? Like what I'm saying, like and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, when I see stuff like this, I want to make sure to verify like who I really actually am to show in my ID because it's required to basically do that. Sometimes it's not required. Sometimes it really actually is, and sometimes it really actually is. When it comes to like hentai or anything like that, or like those kind of things, stuff like that, you do have to show your ID and stuff like that. But I'm not so sure basically in a particular way. I'm not the biggest fan of hentai really much at all. I hate that stuff. I hate that shit. I really definitely do. But like I said, I highly recommend getting Berserk. I highly definitely do recommend getting it, and I definitely do think it's definitely worth the base the pickup. The base the pickup. I do. I don't. I want to buy the hard copies. I don't want to buy them. I want to more go based on the nostalgia route. Is buying the covers. Is buying the individual volumes because I definitely think that it really matters the most. That's what I definitely think. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this video. Tell me what you guys think. You guys like this? You guys like this manga? You guys don't like it? What's your guys' overall thoughts based on story, based on guts? What's your overall story based about the creator that he passed away? Is there any other way? Is there any way that the manga's the base is still ongoing, or maybe the manga has really kind of just hence basically halted, or maybe that is just that there's no point of return basically for Berserk. So kind of disappointed, I guess you probably would say. I guess you probably would say, but yeah. Anyways, it's Anoix. I'll see you guys there. Take care. Hope you guys one day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please like and give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. And please leave a comment below. Hey, what's up? I love you guys. Take care. Hope you have one day. And I'll see you guys there. You guys have a blessed day. And get this volume. Get it. It's really good. Take care. Bye.